Hi everyone, I'm Matt Gaschk with SoundersFC.com alongside Arlo White, and it's time for a little scouting report. San Jose Earthquakes coming into town. The Heritage Cup, right?
Yes.
Something to get excited about.
Yes.
Noon kickoff at Qwest Field, and Arlo, this is going to be a tough matchup. Team 4-1-2 already in the season. What are they? 4-2-1 rather. What do they bring to the table?
Well, I think they're quite an explosive side, Matt, and we've seen since their opening day defeat that they've been on very, very good form. They seem to be able to play all over the field, and I think a difference between the San Jose of 2010 to 2009 is the fact that defensively they're a lot tighter than they were, but they do have threats going forward. I think it's going to be an open, entertaining game at Qwest Field.
Let's talk about how you see. We were talking earlier. You see this game a little bit similar to New York last week, and how Seattle needs to attack their center back.
Yeah, we talked in the scouting report with the Manhattan skyline over our shoulder last week, didn't we? About putting pressure and being busy up front and attacking from the front line. And Brad Evans last week, and Freddie Montero when he came on in the second half, in what was an epic night at Red Bull Arena. It was a fantastic game, a real chess match, which the Sounders prevailed in with that one moment of Montero magic, with the ball over the top, with pinpoint accuracy from Brad Evans before he went off injured. Right. But Evans really put pressure on the back line of the New York Red Bulls, and it's something that San Jose do very well through Ryan Johnson, who's a Jamaican striker, and Chris Wondolowski, who, and in tandem they work very well together. Let's look at the game from the other week against the New York Red Bulls, which San Jose won 4-0 the week before. They softened the Red Bulls up for the Sounders to take advantage last week. So let's take a look at this clip here. It's in the first half, and Wondolowski straight onto Tim Ream there, look, and Johnson goes through the Jamaican left foot strike. Kandul saves very well down to his right hand side. We'll talk a lot more about Ryan Johnson as the scouting report progresses. But there's an example of Wondolowski putting pressure on the back two of the New York Red Bulls and creating opportunities. It's something that Hurtado and Marshall will have to be aware of, and it's something that whoever plays up top for the Sounders against San Jose will have to replicate as well and build on that great work from last week.
One other thing I'm noticing as we're playing that clip, Ryan Johnson follows every shot he takes. Casey Keller's going to need to smother that ball and keep it in his possession, or make sure he's got a defensive player ready to pounce on a rebound, make sure he can knock that away. Ryan Johnson's a quick, heady player, and one of the things they'll need to focus on is making sure those rebounds stay out of harm's way.
Yeah, he's an opportunist. He's a striker. That's what you need, isn't it? So you need, like you say, you need Casey wherever possible to hold on to the ball. And if he doesn't, your defensive markers, fullbacks, centre backs need to be alert to that to get in and clear the ball.
And Bobby Convey, he's a player, comes over from England, from your part. Yeah. And talk about his impact, what he's done for the team here in the last few months.
Well, quite a lot. It seems he's been convinced that the left-hand side is his best position, is his natural position. I remember seeing him play for Reading in the Championship before they got to the Premier League. They got 106 points, that team, from 46 games, which I think is still a record in the UK. A couple of decent seasons, one in particular in the Premier League. He's played in big games. He's played at the Emirates Stadium against Arsenal. He's played in a 1-1 draw against Manchester United, in which Cristiano Ronaldo scored. He's still in his mid-20s, only 26, I think, Bobby Convey, but he's a very, very good player. Again, against the New York Red Bulls, a nice move this for the opening goal. Ryan Johnson picks it up deep. We'll talk more about that in a few moments. But here comes Convey, and we'll pause it just there. Now look at that run down the centre from Johnson. He's got his arm raised. He wants the ball. He knows where he wants it served up. Pecky's playing him onside. He knows that too. But Convey here, first time delivery. He knows that Johnson's sprinting with real purpose towards the edge of the penalty area. Can he deliver the ball on a platter for Johnson to finish first time? We'll play it on and have a look. Here it comes, perfect. And there's Johnson, still with a lot of work to do with his left foot, but you cannot serve a ball up like that any better. Let's take another look. Here he is, just launching on the left-hand side, moves forward, Convey, first time ball. Absolutely brilliant by Bobby Convey, and I think a great team goal as well, and beautifully finished by Johnson. Let's take another look at an instance earlier in the season. This is a defeat at Chivas. We'll pause it just there. Now, he knows, Bobby Convey, he's had a look up here, and he knows that the centre of the field, particularly right in front of him, but also on the edge of the penalty area, is quite congested. So he's got good vision. He can see the other side of the field, and Jertson's making a run. We'll pass it on. We'll play it on, excuse me. To the far side, there's Jertson coming in, stretches, gets a crossover, and Wondolowski wins a penalty against Chivas. There's the referee giving it, and Wondolowski finishes it as well. So they lost 3-2 in a game that was end-to-end. It was an entertaining match. But Bobby Convey is one for the right-hand midfielder to watch, and also James Riley to watch. Skillful player, but his distribution, his passing, his crossing is absolutely top-notch.
Doesn't have a lot of time with the ball at his feet either. He's very quick with those crosses.
Yeah, gets the ball in, gets it out, serves it very quickly.
We talked a little bit about Ryan Johnson already, but tell me a little bit more. What kind of stuff does he bring? What do they have to be wary of with him?
Well, firstly, I'm amazed he's only scored 1 goal this season. He's Jamaican, he's 25, he had a breakout year last year, scoring 11 goals in this San Jose side. San Jose are 2 goals up here. We'll pause it there. Now, Bobby Convey has Corral available on the outside here. I'm not sure what Ubi Parapovic and Jeremy Hall are playing at here, just wandering around, looking around as they are. But once again, look, Ryan Johnson's come off the centre half, made himself available for the pass. We'll play it on. And he spotted straight away that run down the left-hand side from Corrales, low cross in. And there's Wondolowski with his goal. So Johnson is happy to come deep to collect the ball because he has faith, A, that he can play it quickly and release players into the attack, and B, he can get forward quickly as well once he's played the ball. Let's take a look at the next clip here. Corrales, they do come through Corrales quite a lot down the left-hand side. He's got in the seam here. We'll pause it there. He's got in the seam between Ream and I think that's Borman out there on the left-hand side as left back. So he checks back. We'll play it on. Good positioning by him. He's got attackers coming up here and actually chooses this time to go for goal. Why not? Why not have a go? You're 2-0 up, and the shot was saved well by Kundul. So he does a lot of things well. He's got pace, he's got vision, he's got first-time control, he can release players. Also good in the air against Chivas. Late corner kick, swung over, header down into the turf, and unlucky that it ricochets off the crossbar. And he looks deeply frustrated and disappointed by that, doesn't he? He thinks he should have scored there. He's a handful.
He's not the only threat they have going in on those corner kicks, though, right?
No, and something the Sounders worked on, and everything seemed to work last week. But they worked, and we talked about this in the scouting report pre-Red Bulls game, was defending set pieces. Now, they did it brilliantly, but the Red Bulls didn't have a 6'5" giant in the way that LA had with Omar Gonzalez. But San Jose do have that in Bobby Burling, who comes forward for set pieces. Look at this against New York. Cross comes in. I mean, nobody wants to track back and try and mark him. The crossover, the delivery was perfect, and Burling, who's a former striker from his college days, that's how he started. 6'5", they have to be watched at set pieces.
All right, last point for us today, the defense. Talk about what to look for from San Jose defensively here.
Well, we've had a clue on offense and how they like to attack, and Corrales, who goes down the left-hand side quite a lot and overlaps. So it suggests they play quite narrow.
Right.
And I know that you've been to Buckshaw Stadium. You've seen the field there, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's not the widest in Major League Soccer, is it? So maybe that's where that sort of compressed game comes from. And they are get-atable. There's a new word. Down the flanks. So maybe if Nyasi starts, as he did last week against New York, we know that Zakawani is a regular fixture on the left-hand side in this 4-3-3. Maybe there's a possibility of getting at them wide. Let's have a look at this Chivas game again. We'll pause it just there. Now, the ball comes over. Look at the man. This is Jurtson here, who's the left midfielder, because 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders are within 20 or so yards of each other. So Jurtson's having to scamper back here. We'll play it on. And he gets there a little bit too late. He's off balance. Cross comes in, and Braun, I should say, gets a good header in. So the way that Seattle is set up is quite nicely matched against a team that plays fairly narrow, a narrow field, because we do have wide men, and we do like to get the ball wide as much as we possibly can, and we have speed down the flanks. So I can see the way that San Jose set up their team, that maybe there'll be a few gains down the wide positions. That's
your scouting report for the San Jose Earthquakes. One final reminder, you see the Drew Carey bobblehead over our shoulder. Donate $30 to nothingButNets.net through SoundersFC.com, and that bobblehead, not that bobblehead, that one's mine, but a bobblehead like that one.
Because you've pledged your $30, right? Of course.
Will be delivered to you for SoundersFC.com. I'm Matt Gaschk alongside Arlo White. We'll see you at the stadium.